Yo, walk one. Tish your boy, Jeton, legendary, and we have ourselves another Cyberpunk photography session. Look here, peoples. For today's session, we did part 2 of the White Ladies. Alright, we did part 2 for everybody else. We have Louisiana V, Savannah. We have Pinup V, Danny, and we have Irish V, Tara. With that being said, I'm gonna need you to do a couple of things. Hit that subscribe button, that like button, that notification button, show it to people join the Legendary Clan Support channel, become legendary. Consider becoming a member. Check out Instagram. That's where I post most of these photos. Deviant for the stuff that's just a little too much for Instagram, but never too much. Don't go over there expecting madness. Check out the music channel if you want, and the gaming channel. That's where the behind the scenes go and my regular gaming videos. With that being said, let's go. Alrighty, here we are on the photography side of things. We're gonna be starting off with Louisiana V, or Savannah. Okay, as you can see, we got the purple, the green, the gold. Okay, Mardi Gras colors, baby. It's real pretty in here once you turn them graphics up. It don't look like this when you're on regular graphics. The color scheme changes completely when you put them graphics on. Alrighty, look at the colors, man. It's real pretty in here. Okay, we changed up her hairstyle. She got the little jean fit, really give her that country look. Okay, got her with the southern belle looking curls, and I finally fixed her dang teeth. They're not silver anymore. Look at that, I can make her smile. Look, got completely normal teeth. I don't know what the fuck that stutter was, goodness gracious. I said teeth. What the fuck? Alright. I mean, it's simple, but it's clean. Because we kept it mostly night, I shouldn't have to try too hard on correcting her lighting. You know, we're using 3 pale characters, so lighting is definitely going to be an issue if we're not careful here. I like this. It's a simple setup, but it came out pretty dang clean. Go ahead and get them lights in. Oop, I might have been wrong. I might have been wrong. Holy crap. That's a little too bright. Got it down at 80. It still ain't changed nothing. So about, I'm thinking about 75 maybe. Should be about good. Why is this lagging so dang much? I'm on the wrong crap. I feel like her main lighting, that's another thing you gotta be careful with too, is with a pale character, is making sure the light isn't too white, which almost makes them look translucent. They ain't even white no more, they ain't half invisible. Which would be a lot easier if it wasn't lagging so dang much. I swear, sometimes this stuff is buttery fucking smooth 90% of the time. And then the other 10% of the time, it just wants to move as slow as possible for some reason. It's all good though, as long as the crap get done. Danny, setting up Danny's photo session is gonna be pretty freaking easy. But I'll still record it for the gaming channel anyways, as a behind the scenes joint. Let's just make the 2 main lights yellow. We don't need the whole set yellow because she already looking a little different in a good way. But boom, new hairstyle, you know what I mean? I don't know if I'm gonna keep her with that hairstyle because I already got 1 character rocking the hairstyle. I mean, it's only 1. It's not like I don't have, you know. Hold up. So you just gonna watch this many minutes of the video and you ain't even gonna hit the subscribe button? That's crazy to me. Subscribe right now, man. Let's get back into the video. 6 characters rocking the dang afro. That is the best hairstyle they made in this game. Like all my other characters, they rock vanilla hairstyles, but I be wanting to change them because they're pretty ugly. That afro, all my characters who rock the afro have been rocking that afro since I created them. I have yet to change it. I might change their hairstyles to something else just for like here and there. Like if I'm doing a different style photo set and I don't want them to have the full-on afro out, because it might not match whatever I'm doing. But they've been rocking the afro forever, and they'll most likely stay with the afro forever. Actually, no, let's do it with a higher depth of field. You know what I mean? They'll most likely be rocking them afros forever. You know what I'm saying? As where certain characters, you know, every time I log into them, it's like, dang, I need a better hairstyle for this character. Matter of fact, before we get to Danny, I'm gonna change her hair because I found a shortcut hair on Nexus that is quite nice, and I'm gonna download that after this and see what she looks like with that. She got a low cut hairstyle, but it is very rockabilly, but it's also very ugly. So yeah, it fits her theme, but it ain't great looking. Okay, I'm gonna figure something out for that. This is the lady who can't fully close her eyes. Talking about this character in a photo session some time ago. Oh no, not a photo session. That's when we was making the Darren live stream, making the Arab characters. I was talking about how if you choose the wrong eyes, your character won't be able to close their eyes very far. That's this character. She cannot fully close her eyes. Any pose I have, any face pose I have where it closes the character's eyes, she cannot do it fully. Her eyes do not close all the way. But I ain't gonna change her face, you know what I mean? There's no point of changing her face. Let's get a little bit of that purple in there. Got the Mardi Gras colors going. She looks great with this hairstyle though, so I probably will end up keeping it on her. Oh wait, I moved her too far back. Hold on. Okay, let me test something. Why the fuck is this lagging so much? I'm confused. Well, number one, it's still lagging like crazy, but I'm confused. Why did I have to back my character up so much when I spawned her in the couch? I just remembered that. I'm like, she's sitting too far away, but I'm confused on how that's possible. But now she's like really in the couch. I don't even know what seated pose that was, dude. I don't remember. Now, normally what I used to do back in the day was I would make my character sit to the object. Now I make the object sit to my character because it's a lot easier. Okay, there it goes. It's moving a lot smoother now. I swear this crap picks and chooses when it wants to be laggy. Be pretty annoying because you won't know why it's lagging. Because I didn't do anything special. I didn't do anything to change it. I just I backed out of photo mode and then went back in. Now all of a sudden it is chosen to not be laggy, which is good. Speeds things up. Let me see something here. What does 50 look like here? I always do 50 on my photos in Skyrim. I almost never do 50 here on Cyberpunk. Now that I'm looking at it, I probably should start. I usually do 20 though because you can see the character more, but then that doesn't allow you to see the background quite as much. Then again, at the same time, 20 is also a lot easier to use for thumbnails. Lighten it up a little bit. The struggles of pale characters. I gotta do another one of them dang late night photo sessions. July 1st is on a dang Tuesday, man. So I'm gonna be up late again, brother. Hey, you gotta get crap done. You gotta get crap done, you know. We're having a lot of grayscale here. I'm not feeling it. Motion blur, not motion blur, volumetric fog is disabled. But for some reason, at least she does. Not really the background, but she looks kind of grayish. That could be what I was saying earlier. Is because the lights being so pale, it makes her even more pale than she already is, giving her a ghostly appearance. So let's go ahead and make these a little bit more gold to reduce that ghostliness. I mean, she's about as pale as you can get, so I don't know how much that's gonna work, but we're gonna try here. But I have that at 245. I don't think we did it far enough. Still looking pretty white. There's a little bit more, a little less goldness to it. A little more goldness to it though, you can tell. But not quite as much as we need. Be looking, I said earlier, translucent. We don't really want that. Quite hard to work with the character. You can't see their facial features. Gotta be able to see the facial features. It's a little bit of a struggle right now. How much light we got going on. You know what? Maybe I should darken it a bit more. The background is a little extra bright, probably more bright than it needs to be. That's another thing too, is good contrast. Sometimes you don't want the background to be as bright as your character, because the character is still the important part of the scenery. The character is the important one. Let's make her look away from the camera for this one. Alright. They're right about there, on top of that there knuckle. Boom. I just realized that is a gargantuan freaking latch buckle, or whatever, crab claw, lobster claw, whatever the fuck they call it. Buckle. On the pants. Big as fuck. If I had a dang lobster claw buckle that big, I'd just be messing around with it all day. Not even actually using it for nothing. Dang giant fidget toy. Just off the simple fact that it's a massive lobster buckle. Kinda wondering, can you get lobster buckles that big now? Probably can. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, because that is like, that's used for every dang thing. Tow trucks, oil rigs, whatever the fuck else would need a large buckle. Oh, I'm moving the main camera. Oops. Or the main light. I released a voting poll today. Well, by the time y'all seeing this is going to be uploaded on the 29th. It is the 18th as of recording. But I released a voting poll asking people like if they would want to see more Cyberpunk photo sessions, more Skyrim, what. I'm thinking most people are probably going to vote for Cyberpunk. And that's a good thing, because Cyberpunk's quality is just next level in comparison to the other games. So for me personally, I would absolutely love to do more Cyberpunk. Don't get me wrong, of course you'll still see Skyrims and stuff like that, but you'll see more Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk's quality is just too dang good in comparison to the other games. When you're doing like Skyrim, or Fallout, I mean, the quality just doesn't stack up when you look at the photos. Like, of course, they're very good for Skyrim, they're very good for Fallout, so on and so forth. But like with the new, that quality is nice. With the new games coming out, like Inzoi is really nice. Not on this level yet, but it is quite a bit better than Skyrim and Fallout. Now, of course, you know, that also comes down to Photoshop editing and all that. Me personally, since I ain't got Photoshop yet, and even if when I do get the quality that I didn't even finish my sentence, I just realized I said do get. The quality difference between this and any other game is just, it's astronomical. Okay, that's a word I ain't ever used. It's astronomical differences, dude. The point where it's like, should I even fucking, sometimes I'll be wondering, like, should I even make Skyrims and Fallouts and those the main shows? Or just keep it Cyberpunk, and then, you know, you see all my Skyrim and Fallout stuff in photos of the week and photos of the month. Which would work anyways, because I do that all the time with like Gmod, Forza, because these games are high quality, but not in the level, not at the same level of this. You know what I'm saying? The quality of stuff I do in this game versus the other games is just, like I said, it's astronomical. Like even GTA 5 is a better option. Yeah, the characters are a little lackluster, but everything else is spectacular. You know what I'm saying? Everything else is nice. Actually, hold on, let me go back to that. Kind of forgot. Do we want these in the 50 or my usual 20? See, I normally do 20 because I like to make the main focus be the character. But see, like you see now, we only see her in a green wall. We don't get to see the background. When you do 50, which is a normal level for photos, unless you're typically, like I always say, when I'm doing character stuff, is 20 to like 35-ish, because it's mainly about the character. But I feel like if you're gonna set up a background like I have here, I probably should be using 50, which is the most common scope you use when doing people photos. Unless the main focus is the character. But in this instance, not exactly. She is the main focus. But what was the point of making the background if we're not going to show that off too, you know what I'm saying? Night City Fashion Week. I might keep this hair on her head. I think I might keep this guy right here. It's clean. It works for her. The other hairstyle is cool. That's a basic vanilla hairstyle I've been using for quite a while, but this is mine's better. That's the one downside to Cyberpunk, is a lot of the hairstyles not great. Yeah, but nothing special, that's for sure. Nothing special. I forgot to refill my water. I'm about to take a swig of some cold water, and I look down to an empty bottle. I have to do that right after we take this one picture right here. It's gonna get hot. That looks like. See, that looks like. I think I should start doing them at 50 more often, honestly. Probably be more helpful with thumbnails. Plus, like I said, the quality difference between this game and Skyrim is Fallout and various other games that I do pictures on is just astronomical. That's why I ain't made my way back to trying to finish up First Ascendant for sceneries and all that, because that's cool, but it's just not gonna be the same. So we gotta back her up a little bit. Her face is browning and light. Just not gonna be the same. The level of quality will not even be close to what we get here. Oops. Top of her head. Back to the light a little bit because it's still shining like crazy. Bring that down just a tad bit. Oh, a little too much. Right about there. And boom. I put the dang table too low. I'm trying to turn so I can grab me some dang water. Alright, we'll be back. Alright, now I got a nice cold glass of water by my side. Alright, quality on those are nice and clean. Always gotta make sure keep crap at tip-top shape. Strangers with candy. Oh no. You know the strangers, folks. The fuck? Alright, let's move her back forward. Move her back forward. Go back up. Actually, that pose is kind of cool. Bring her to the side. That side. And or look forward. Face a little bit. Stay right about top of the head. Steer in the other direction. Shoot that. Oops. You know, one of the main things I'm trying to be doing though, hitting up some car shows and crap. There are a lot of people's out here create some absolutely incredible masterpieces. Car world. Trying to capture a lot of nice stuff. Sceneries, natures, stuff like that, cities. A lot of things I have planned for the future. Gotta make sure we're getting back on track here first. You feel what I'm saying? It's slow, but we'll get it back. We'll get it back there. You know, at the end of the day, the person I can blame for the major slowing process of how fast this channel once was building is myself. I was the one who became indecisive multiple times and then cut off videos multiple times. That's the moments where it's like, oh shoot. That's the moments where you be thinking something ain't moving, but it is. It was one of them moments. Multiples of the moments, unfortunately. Now I gotta build the community back up. But ads here and there, whole lot of recording, keeping the quality high, working, banging into YouTube's head constantly. Hey, I'm uploading still. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of ads to bring new peoples in. Help get those videos up some views and whatnot. Let them know like, hey, we here, baby. I say I ain't got nobody to blame but my dang self. It wasn't a single person, a single negative comment. You know, I pretty much never receive those. Here and there. Far and few, very rare, and then a lot of the times they end up not lasting any dang ways. That's like I had somebody, he had left a comment on one of my videos. I think it was the first Y2K session I did. He was like, "This is the most butt ugly ass I've ever seen," and I replied, I said, "That's perfectly fine. We're all entitled to our own opinion, even if it is dead wrong." I go back. And the comment was just gone. Alright, I didn't even think I said anything that crazy. But okay. You know, to each, I guess, you know, talk trash and then reply to them being nice and like, okay, well, failed. I got my joint set to, not hold though, because when you do let it hold, it might hold a completely normal comment. There'll be times where people are like, "Oh man, great content, man," and for some reason YouTube will put that comment on hold. I guess he didn't think I would see it, maybe. Like, I mean, I guess, you know, to each their own, but you know, the analytics say otherwise. So that's the thing. It's always them dang analytics, man. Like I said, you'll be thinking something ain't working, but it is. And you'll scrap it because like, I was like, oh man, nobody likes this. Even though they clearly do. Which was the stupid part on my side, because, you know, every time I would do one of these Cyberpunk photo sessions, they would get hundreds to thousands of views. Maybe not thousands, but like 1,000-ish. Well, a few of them got pretty close to 2,000. A few of them went over. You know, mad likes, pretty much no dislikes. But then that dang indecisiveness. You know what I mean? Like, oh no, it's not working fast enough. Indecisiveness with impatience. Horrible mix. Horrible mix. Okay, I spawned in the couch, but we didn't use the joint once. Hold on. Back it on up. Let's back it on up. We ain't used the joint once, bro. Make sure the quality on that good. we edited the color changing on the last one good, because now it matches everything else. But you'll be looking at crap to be doing magnificent, oops, moved whole fucking profile joints on accident. Mad likes on the joint, pretty much 0 dislikes. You might have like 60 likes and only like 1 dislike. It'd be stuff like that, numbers like that. Somehow, some way, because of the great and powerful mix of indecisiveness and impatience, you will somehow find a way to put it in your head that things are not working. That is the unfortunateness of indecisiveness and impatience. They work together beautifully in the worst way possible. It's the greatest, worst team known to mankind. Only because that team is working against you, you know. Somebody else will see your videos and be like, dang, there's some pretty good views. You see it and it's like, man, it's just not working. It's just nobody likes what I'm doing. Like, huh? What you talking about? And some dang good views and some good, you know, analytics, everything. It's nice as fuck. And you'll have dedicated people who are just always on your videos. They like every dang thing you do. You know what I mean? Then other people like what you do too. Somehow, some way, tell yourself that, oh, that's just not good enough. Even though it definitely is. Oops, I didn't fix the lights. I just took the picture. Got mad amounts of shadow down there. Terrible looking. I mean, straight dedicated people. They there for the cause. They wish to see your channel go up and up and up. And somehow, you like a dang fool will manage to tell yourself otherwise. This is from experience. I'm not talking about anybody specifically outside of my dang self. That's exactly what I did on multiple occasions. To the fact where, you know, realistically, so far, my most successful channel was going to be this channel until I cut it off. Then it was forcibly Warcraft channel, which I hated. Because it's like, okay, Warcraft is cool and all, but I don't have plans on making this be the thing I do for the rest of my life. Absolutely not. You feel what I'm saying? So where the photography channel probably be at like 2,000-3,000, maybe 5,000, who knows how much with the amount of views that I was getting. Man, shoot, dude. The dang Warcraft channel would have died a long time ago. Now, of course, there'll be times where I'll probably upload to whenever I feel like actually getting on Warcraft and goofing around. Because, you know, I still do hop on certain games. I haven't been on retail while in a hot minute. But there's still certain games that I do hop on and mess around with. Call of Duty. I was just on Call of Duty last night before I went to bed. Had 2 good games. Alright, well, we're going to go ahead and call it there because you know how Call of Duty works. Get 2 or 3 good games and then you dare play a 4th or 5th and it's the worst games known to mankind. Keep it about 2 or 3 and then you get off. But, you know, that's the... I'm about to say the beauty. There's nothing beautiful about impatience and it is beautiful how well it can wreak havoc on the brain, that's for sure. That crap is crazy. Like, how can you believe this is happening and that's happening? Man, that's how it worked. How it worked. I thought, you know, somehow I thought people wasn't really feeling my stuff, which is insane considering, you know, the analytics were not lying. I did not realize that, you know, I went up with no ads around 1,000 subscribers in just a year off of just posting gaming videos and these photo sessions from time to time. And then when I moved over to doing just the photo sessions and the photography related stuff, it was still going up. I was still building subscribers. That dang impatience, boy. That dang impatience and that indecisiveness is lurking. Dude, there's a few times as of recently, it's like, dang, this just ain't moving. But it is, you know? Slow, because, well, I've ruined it from when it was doing fast. But, you know, we'll get it back there. So if you're ever doing something, seems like it ain't working, pay attention to them dang numbers. Pay attention to the people who's popping up and showing up to your stuff the most. Like, dang, you really keep showing up to this and what I'm doing. Some people are fucking dedicated to the cause. It ain't got nothing to do with them. They just absolutely enjoy what it is you're doing. I mean, I have a lot of that going on. My food stuff. But it's all good. I'm working on getting it back. Dude, that's what we're doing right now. Matter of fact. Need to lift her up more. Is she in the couch or is she over the couch? I can't tell if she's in or over the couch. Let's see. She's definitely in the couch. Now that's too far. Right there is good. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. I mean, we got it on lock now. Doing these, I don't know what made me start with doing the photo sessions. I think because I was always doing them, I was like, let me upload one and see how people react to it. So I did one on Black Desert back in the day. I didn't really call it a photo session, but that's what it was. And it did pretty decent. I was kind of surprised. Because I didn't think it would do super well. I'm like, how many people would really want to sit there and watch you take a bunch of photos? Well, you'd be surprised, you know, considering that is main thing we do here. So, main thing people love to watch. So, it's like you get to see the behind the scenes of what people are creating. But it makes a lot of sense. Shoot, that was a comment that somebody left not too long ago. He's like, it's cool to see process and how you do everything. Now, take that one and multiply it by many. I used to get that comment, those type of comments all the dang time, bro. That's the mess ups and mistakes that we make, though, as humans. The only thing there is to do is to fix it, you know. If you accidentally make a dumb move, try to fix it. However way you can. Exactly what I'm doing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Although I'm a little for when 4th of July comes up, I wanted to do a 4th of July themed photo session, and I honestly want to make that be Cyberpunk, because no other game is going to be able to capture that as well as this game. That's the beauty of Cyberpunk, it's just too good looking of a game. That's why I made the voting poll asking people if they wanted to see, if they wouldn't have mind to see more Cyberpunk. What the heck kind of poses is it? Looking at? Oh, that's like stools. I ain't got no stool here though. Got this little bitty flat couch. Yeah, I want to do a 4th of July theme, and then I was gonna edit some of those photos to put my 3 southern characters in one picture. Tight to do that. I think that'd be pretty dang swaggy. I need to see what the people's is thinking. More Cyberpunk, or should we keep the variation? Me personally, I wouldn't mind doing Cyberpunk. Just a much better quality game than the rest of the games, you know. It just got that quality level that a lot of the other games do not have. Cyberpunk is just drop dead, one of the best looking games to date. There's not very many games that can pull off what Cyberpunk can pull off. Unless you're doing your photos straight up through Blender and fucking Unreal Engine. You know, yeah, you're not gonna be able to really keep up with this game. It's just too dang great looking. They did a dang good job on this game's graphics. Why her hair look red? She look like a redhead. The heck? That's for the next V. That's for Irish V. Irish V is the redhead. You know what I'm saying? This game's just dang too immaculate. This character reminds me of someone that I used to see on a YouTube video. Now that I'm looking at her face, would pop up in people's videos every now and then. I think she was, if I'm remembering correctly, because I ain't watched them people's in years. It was a group of mostly Asian YouTubers. One of their, it was his girlfriend or something. It was a white lady with blonde hair. Kind of looked like that lady for some reason. But I ain't watched them in so many dang years. I don't really remember what the fuck she looked like all that much. But I guess somewhat like this. God, because when I made this character, it was already the point where I hadn't watched them in, shoot, probably like 7, 8, 9 years now. Maybe even almost 10. I was a teenager, that's for sure. I remember that absolutely. That's the last time I had seen any of their videos. I think they still be making videos, but they do like mostly like news videos. My problem is modern day news is barely news. They'll tell you about what influencers and celebrities are doing long before they tell you what the important stuff is. Man. Forget the possibility of war. Let me tell you how fucking I can't think of nobody. I can't think of nobody. I don't watch enough people. I've been watching the same people on YouTube for fucking years now. There's not a whole, if I'm being honest, there's not a whole lot of interesting content creators out here these days. Everybody is just uploading what everybody else done. And now we got all these goofy AI videos coming out. You know what I'm saying? It's like, shoot, is there even anybody to subscribe to in the modern day? There's just an endless flood of crappy AI videos. Iron Bone, that's a full 10 right there. There's the setup. Now you can really see how far away she actually is from the what's names. It's a simple setup. The gold ground, gold roof, gold yellow walls, purple, the green. And now we gotta move over to the next V, Irish V. And I wanna make it look like she's back home in Ireland. Alrighty, we are on Irish V, okay. And got her the shirt that says Ireland on it. Got the castle here, although I don't think that is an Irish style cathedral. However, the castle should be pretty good. As you can see, can't even tell she in Nice City. Mountains everywhere, because Ireland is a very mountainous and grassy place, from what I know. With that being said, I mean, let's see what we could do real quick. Alrighty, boom. Irish V in the building. This one though, we're gonna go up close. These type of setups, you know. Oh, don't keep disappearing like that. I did kind of scale it up, so it probably is glitching out. It's not normally that big, but I wanted you to really be able to see it. I mean, you'll see it when you see it. It spawns back in, so it's all good. The slight issue I didn't think about is how tall grass is in the background. That is some pretty major grass back there. There probably is some grass that tall in Ireland, I'm sure. We have it here in America in certain little areas. There's certain times, you know, as a kid, it's like, well, shoot, I don't want to go through that field because the grass is as tall as me, and who knows what monstrosity, probably a gargantuan rat, a behemoth of a rat or something, just chilling in there, waiting to take a chomp out of you, you know? Don't get it twisted. Rats will eat whatever they can get their hands on, especially if they like straight up wild rats. A human is no exception. Okay? A human, no exception. Get bit, possibly killed by a behemoth of a rat hiding in a dang field, dude. Woman who died to a rat, a massive rat, because she had she was carrying milk but it was leaking. They started following her. Well, he ain't alive no more. Big rat, fucking fat rats, man. Rats get huge too. You ever see a New York rat? Those memes is the truth. I would know. I lived in New York for a small period of my life, and it was at that point I had saw the largest rat I'd ever seen in my fucking life. Let me tell you, I'm looking at this creature. I don't know what I'm looking at. Mind you, I'm a kid. The animals I really know about is birds, cats, and dogs. Okay, that's all I know about. Never heard of no rat before. You know, you see bugs, but no, those are bugs. You don't really associate them as animals a lot of the times. They're just little guys doing their thing, doing their little guy thing, right? One day, okay, it's late at night. It's the weekends. Everybody is out just doing, you know, New York stuff. You know how New York get. I'm sure y'all see the memes. Okay, Buffalo, New York is no different. New York is New York. Everybody's out. It's late as fuck. Realistically, kids should be sleeping, but we not. We out having fun too. I'm sitting on the porch, and I'm looking over at across the street at one of my neighbors' porch, and I'm noticing a large circular thing moving. Right, but it's weird because, you know, if you've never seen a rat, rats have bald tails. They kind of look like earthworms. And I'm looking at this earthworm-like thing moving, and it's massive. I'm like, what the fuck am I looking at? Then remember back in the day, the nowadays a lot of these street lights have unless depending on the area you live in, a lot of street lights now are those UV lights, the white lights with the bluish white lights. They last a lot longer. Back in the day, I mean, it was the amber lights. So under this eerie amber glow, I'm looking at this large earthworm-like creature wriggling around, okay, underneath the stairs of their porch. But then I look slightly forward and I realize that this earthworm-like creature has now a lot of hair in a very rotund gluteus maximus. You know how rats are built, they're bigger in the back and then smaller in the front. So I'm like looking at this thing, and then the full body starts moving. I'm like, well, clearly cats do not have tails like that, right? As I'm looking at this creature, cats don't have tails like that, number one, and there's no way in the world that there's a dog, because dogs just aren't built like that. They don't have, well, most dogs don't have larger back ends than they do forend. You know, most dogs have a larger forend than they do a back end. Okay, dogs are very muscle-bound creatures, most dogs. So I'm still looking at this creature, and then it backs up a little bit from underneath the stairs, and it is quite possibly the largest rat I've ever seen in my life. It was easily bigger than most cats, and it was near the size of a medium-sized dog. If I had to take a wild guess, I'm gonna say I was looking at a 30 odd pound rat. I'm thinking easily a rat within the 30-pound region. Easily. Not like possibly, not maybe, no, easily a rat within the 30-pound range. This thing was massive. It was digging underneath the neighbor's porch, and then it crawled under there and never came back. At least from what I know. You know what I'm saying? We ended up not staying there too much longer, so I never knew what happened with that fucking monster of a rat. All I know is I ain't seen a rat that big since. That is the beauty of the desert. Okay? Rats don't do too well out here. But in those areas, and they be flourishing. Clearly that one was. Because like I said, that is easily the biggest rat I have ever seen in my life. I've seen nothing. No rat bigger. Not on video. Nothing. And that was something I saw with my own 2 eyes. Mind you, I was young. This is before I was blind. Alright, this is before my eyes went bad. So I had 20/20 vision. I saw what I was seeing quite clearly. It was a big fucking... Nah, forget big. It was a massive, colossus even, rat. I mean, huge, y'all. Huge. Because of that thing, it gave me a slight fear of rats for a long time. I think until I was about mid-teens, I kind of stopped caring. From like 8, though. From like 8. I want to say all the years we were there, honestly. But probably not teens. No, not teens. Because we left Buffalo by the time I was like 11, 12. So, not teens. But from like 8 to 12 years old, I wasn't feeling the idea of a rat, dude. I really wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I was not. That's not normal. It's not normal at all for rats to be that big. It's just the amount of trash that people leave behind. A lot of people, I've heard a lot of people always wonder, why do rats in New York get that big? People leave a lot of trash around so they can eat nice. Then there's pigeons everywhere. Believe it or not, a rat will catch a pigeon if they can, especially if they're big enough and fast enough. I mean, dang near everything eats a pigeon, especially in New York. So, shoot, people eating pigeons out there. I mean, it's good eats. You ain't got nothing else on you, you know what I'm saying? So, imagine this, right? You're a big, very big, healthy rat. All other rats is bowing down to your supremacy. I mean, what the fuck they gonna do? You know, what is a regular sized rat supposed to do to a rat that's like 30 times its size? You know what I'm saying? That's like being a big man, right? You're a big man. You're 260 pounds of muscle. But then out of nowhere, a man who is, you know, like 2,000, 3,000 pounds of muscle. What the fuck are you supposed to do to that? You're not gonna do any dang thing. You know what I'm saying? He 3,000 pounds of solid muscle. Okay, he like fucking 27 feet tall and crap. What are you supposed to do with that? You can't do nothing with that. So, if you're this massive rat and no other rat can do nothing, man, you're gonna be eating good all the dang time. Leader of the pack type crap. That was definitely that rat. That's not even a joke either. That thing was massive. I ain't never seen a rat that big since. Not even on video have I seen rats that big. And I saw it with my own 2 eyes. That's what makes it the craziest. It's not like I saw it on a YouTube video and I'm telling y'all about a YouTube video I watched. No. This is a real thing I saw when I was like 8 or 9. Not even being over dramatic, because you can tell I wasn't the only person that saw it. Most people that saw it thought it was a cat at first. We all had the same reaction. There was a lot of us, like I said. It was late night. All the adults is out. All the kids is out. It's on a weekend, so we're all just out enjoying time. So I wasn't the only person that seen this. When everyone noticed it, we were all like, what the fuck is that? Everybody reacted to the sheer size of this dang thing. It wasn't just me out there. A lot of adults too. A lot of kids too. We all saw that dang thing and all had the same reaction. That's how you know it's ridiculous. Because in New York you see rats decently often. I mean, it's the East Coast. It's great. Great weather. The humidity. A good place for a rat to be able to thrive. So obviously you'll see them a lot. versus the desert where it's hot as fuck, dry as fuck. The amount of you know, you don't get to throw trash around here very often without getting in trouble. So, you know, you do see a rat in the desert, it'll be tiny, smaller than, you know, your average rat. On average rats, they're decent. You can hold them in your hand. They're not like nothing to write home about. You know, you wouldn't want to see them in your home, of course. They're a lot bigger than a mouse, but at the same time, it's not like groundbreaking. They're not groundbreakingly large. Let me make sure the quality of these images is good. They're not like groundbreakingly large. Rats are fairly normal-sized rodents. Pretty sure there are rodents bigger. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure guinea pigs are bigger on average. Like, we already know large rodents like the fucking capybara and crap like that. So, you know, rats are not really nothing to write home about unless you got them as a pet. They're intelligent little creatures. Adorable too. You know what I mean? But that thing, that's not the type of rat you would want as a pet. That's the type of rat that would probably try to snip at you in the middle of the night while you're trying to sleep. Hoping that he can, you know, get you while you're sleeping. Believe it or not, fucking random hiccups. Believe it or not, you know, some animals are opportunistic, and an animal that big, honestly, he probably wouldn't even be opportunistic. At that size, he probably think he could pull up on you. And in which most cases, you know, a rat that size, he wouldn't be right. Most people wouldn't know what to do with a rat that dang size. If you ain't got no weapons on you, shoot. Gonna be a, you know, unfortunate day. Lose your life to a 30-pound rat, which is, you know, not surprising. That's expected. It's a 30-pound rat. They carry some pretty bad diseases sometimes. You think. Although people lied, it wasn't the rats that started the Black Plague. It was the sheer amount of filth. Rats, believe it or not, rats are clean little creatures. They be cleaning themselves off. They be taking showers and crap, little baths and stuff. You give a rat some water to bathe in, he will. You know what I'm saying? But a 30-pound-ish rat. Now, of course, that's just speculation. I don't know how much the rat could have actually weighed. Because, like anybody else on the street who saw that thing, no one got anywhere near close to the thing. We just let it do its thing. The dude who lived in the house that it was crawling under, he was like, it would be my house, man. he was not very happy about this cat-sized, dog-sized rat crawling underneath his porch. I don't know if they ever did anything about it, but you know, hey, whatever that was, that's something that they had to deal with. I just realized I gave her the heels and you can't even see them because the grass is too tall. This is the heels. Okay, nice and fancy. Orange and white to match the orange, white, and green. See, the shirt is green, orange with the white Ireland, so I did the orange and white heels to match. But you can't even see them because the grass is too tall. That thing was a monster, though. Glad that was the only time we ever saw that dang thing. Never came to our house. We kept our house clean, so we never had issues with bugs outside of, like, you know, your typical on a hot summer day fruit flies and flies. They just always manage to make their way in whether you like it or not. We had a one or two not too long ago. They're gone now, but Buffalo is a lot worse. Buffalo is a lot worse. Like I said, the humidity allows them to grow in much different areas. No matter what the fuck you did, you can guarantee that on a hot, humid day, especially after rain, your fucking garbage can is gonna be covered in filth. I ain't gonna say what because sure nobody wants to hear that, but if you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. On a hot summer day, you dang near couldn't avoid it. You have to get your trash cans cleaned often. Problem is like, you know, most people don't know that because, like, where the fuck do you go to get your trash can professionally cleaned? Here in the desert, though, not a problem. It is a problem. Constant heat. Oh, look at that. Heat wave. Yup, constant dang heat. Downside. I mean, you know, you gotta choose dead hot weather or humid hot weather. I haven't felt humid hot weather in a long time, so I have no clue what that's like. I haven't felt humid hot weather since I was a kid. I have no clue what humid hot weather feels like anymore. I'll tell you what though, dead hot weather ain't no good. Only 15, 16, 17, 18 with not a fucking lick of breeze to be found. Yikes. Gotta really be able to weather that heat. Falling out. Stroke and stuff. I'll tell you what though, trying to grow your hair out, moving to a desertous area with dead hot air is not a good way to get your hair grown. I have to wet my hair probably every 3 hours because I'm trying to see how long I can get it again, see if I can grow it to be as long as it once was. You gotta fucking make sure your hair is wet off to fool your, pretty much fooling your body into believing that you live in a humid area now. It works, but happening with grass despawning, as long as you can't see it in the main photo. There we go. You know, you gotta fool your body into believing, hey, we're in a humid area. Okay, I need that hair nice and long. It works. It works. Because when you're in a humid area, you know, it's humid. It's always wet. So your hair grows and accommodates to your area. Hair nice and thick and stuff. When you're in a hot, dry desert, it accommodates to that. So it removes, your body sheds as much hair as possible so that you don't, you know, overheat. Which is, you know, that's good. Your body trying to be primal still, knowing that you know, you're in certain situations. If you're in cold weather, you get a lot hairier usually. You be having mad hair all over. I know that's one thing I had. I was hairy. Now I'm not that hairy. That's the difference between that hot weather and humid weather. Body's like, okay, gotta take some of this damn hair off. It's too hot. You don't need it anymore. Like, yeah, I probably don't, but I kind of still want it. Kind of still want it, you know, to keep my hair. Let me see, not use up too many of those. We still got, oh well, actually never mind. For Danny, we're gonna be doing her usual pinup style. I'm trying to figure out what car I want to use for that though. I still haven't figured that out. That's the stuff right here. Pinup joint. Let's see, we got 4 more. What's a good 4 we can use here? I have it with that dang castle keep disappearing, dude. I can angle it most of it. Have both the castle and the tree. I mean, I guess I really could just move them closer, but kind of already did 6 photos so far, so it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to switch it now. I tell you what though, New York wasn't the only thing with something massive. Okay, there was, back when I was younger, I was probably like 15, 16 years old, here in this desert, I'll tell you what, certain bugs do not have any problems flourishing. When I was a kid, I pretty much had no fear of bugs. There used to be this big fat fucking yellow spider that used to sit at the side of our house. The thing was huge. It could easily fit in the palm of your hand. It was black, yellow, and white if I'm remembering correctly. But it wasn't thin, scrawny like an old orb weaver. It was thickish like a tarantula. And I used to get up in the spider's face all the time and just stare at him. He would move around, he would stop, he would look at me, and then he would just go about his business. It's like, well, shoot, if you ain't gonna touch me, then keep doing what I do. I never did touch him. I wasn't dumb, just wasn't scared. So, you know, I let him do his thing. I would pick up spiders, put them in like containers. One time when I was little, My brothers and sisters, we was being some dummies, and we grabbed all kinds of bugs. We grabbed a bee or two, I think one wasp, a few spiders, different type of spiders, a couple of ants, and all kinds of bugs, and then we put them in a jar with some leaves and stuff. And well, you know, dumb kids doing dumb kid thing. Each and every single bug died. We didn't think, you know, oxygen, kind of need that. They had none of that, so not a single one of them stayed very long. We were like, dang, why didn't they survive? The fuck? And then that's when we realized, oh, we didn't poke any holes in the top, so we just do dumb crap, right? But then my issue is I'm usually not very fearful of bugs. The problem is when I can then look that bug in the eyes and tell that they're looking back at me. Not like they turn their whole little body and they're looking at you. No, like you can very clearly see that no matter which direction they're standing, they are indeed looking back at you because they're that big that you can see their eyes decently enough to tell that, oh, this bug is looking at me. You know what I'm saying? So one time, like I said, back when I was like 15, 16, I was going out to take out the garbage. It's happened twice. There was the first time I had ever seen this type of creature. Okay. Scientific name is sulfugid or something like that. The actual name that everybody else calls it is the camel spider. Okay. So, I'm taking out the garbage. It's dark as fuck. And I'm just looking straight forward because I'm scared out of my dang mind because I know there's probably a bunch of fucking roaches around my dang feet. I'm like, you know, I'm just gonna get it done. Okay, we're just gonna go out. I had my boots on just in case. Okay. I was a little scared of the roaches already. Roaches everywhere, but I was trying to kill my fear of roaches because I never had a fear of roaches until I found out about my dad's fear of roaches. I never gave a crap about roaches at first, right? So I'm trying to kill the fear of these dang roaches. I think I'm doing a pretty good job. I'm walking amongst them. Got my big old boots on, but I'm walking amongst them. I'm doing my thing. What the heck is all the... I didn't think about seated poses, but the grass is too high, so we can't use those. Oops. Multi-poses. Right? So, I'm doing fine. Alright? I'm walking amongst these dang little bugs, man. What they gonna do to me? Nothing. Till something catches my eye. I didn't even actually really see nothing. It's just, you know how when you're like doing something and you glance, no, not even a glance, because glance means you're looking over at it. It's like when you just so happen to just catch it because it's in your peripheral. Yeah, that's right. You catch something in your peripheral. Okay? And I caught something in my peripherals, alright. I look to the side up at the wall and there is a behemoth of a camel spider just chilling on the wall. When I was walking forward through those dang roaches and not giving a crap about them being there, when I saw that thing, well, that's when I stopped walking forward through the roaches, not giving a crap about them. Because now I had a new reason to give a crap. Here beside me on the wall is the fastest moving spider-ish creature. If a human could move as fast as that little guy could, the human would be moving about 100-something miles an hour. So now I'm genuinely scared. Like I said, there's just so certain times where a creature, a bug specifically, is so big, not a creature, because obviously if you look a dog in the eyes, you can tell if a dog is staring at you. That's not the problem. It's when you can stare at a bug and they can look back at you. Except for praying mantis and dragonflies because they have literal eyes. See their little beady eyes looking around. So not those. They don't really count because they genuinely, you just genuinely can actually see what they're looking at. They got eyes just like us. Much better and more complex. But they got those little beady eyes and you can actually see where they're looking. Nah, not spiders. Okay? Not spiders and spider-like creatures. You don't typically have the ability to see what they're looking at because their eyes are usually just black. Very small amount of spiders have multi-set eyes to where you could actually see what they're looking at. Not this thing. This thing, now he was looking, he was staring, and he was contemplating, should I? Or should I just stay here? Guess what? I didn't stick around long enough to find out. I left the trash can right there. I moved it the next day. I moved that joint the next dang day. Then it happened a second time. Luckily, this time, it wasn't on our house. Where we had the giant camel spider, okay? The next door neighbor had quite possibly the fattest fucking roach I've ever seen in my life. Easily, to this day. Big John, just sitting there, chilling. So once again, it's trash day. I don't know why it kept happening on trash day. I'm getting ready to move the cans. Okay. So I grabbed the first can. I'm rolling. Underneath their front door was what I assumed was a large leaf. A large dead leaf. Because it was brown. It was a big, but here's the issue though. Okay, actually no, because I'm about to wascape. So I thought it was a leaf because it was just a large brown thing sitting underneath their door. And you know, we already getting pretty big because the first thing I compare it to is a leaf. That's pretty dang large. So I'm sitting here thinking, just a big leaf. Actually, that's not what I was thinking. I just thought it was a leaf, so I didn't give a crap about it. I'm just moving, doing my thing. Then I go and grab the second can, but the second time around, I'm like, I was a little odd about that leaf. But you know how roaches always got these dumb long antennas and they move them a lot. And I noticed that the first time, like this roach, this leaf has fairly strange movements, but I didn't really think about it. So I looked down at it and I kept it moving. But I didn't look long because, like I said, this thing is so big. Last thing you're expecting is it to actually be a living, breathing creature. Okay? So then I'm grabbing the third can, and as I'm moving back up, I see the antennas. I notice the antennas. When I get a closer look at this thing, I then realize, I'm like, what kind of fucking leaf is this? So I get close to it. I mean, dumb close. Because you just couldn't see his legs very well. Because that's how fucking robust this thing was. I look down and I'm like, I immediately jump the fuck back because I realize that it is not only the biggest roach I've ever seen, but the biggest red roach I've ever seen. So for those who don't know roaches, like what's a red roach? What's the significance in a red roach? That's the niggas that fly and bite. Okay, that's the ones that fly and will happily bite you. I jumped back so fucking hard after I realized what kind of roach it was, because at first I thought it was like the German roaches. That's the ones, or no, not the Germans, the Asian roaches. That's the ones that are kind of big, robustish. They're red in the back, black in the front. They ain't got no wings though. They don't got wings, they don't bite, and they're usually pretty slow. Nope, it was the worst one possible. It was the German roach, the red roach. Big fucking wings, or no, American roach. Big fucking wings, dark red body. Antennas just feeling, and I see his mass, and then I finally notice his longest fuck legs. His legs were so big. The reason I didn't notice is because I figured first time I didn't pay any attention. The second time I figured it was some form of stems. Maybe it was a dead leaf. You know how when you see a dead leaf, the stems, the roots will stick out a bit? Alright, we need one more good pose for this, and we're moving on to Pinup v Danny. You know when a leaf is all dried up though, they got their roots stick out. That's what I thought it was at first. That third time, dude, when I got close, I noticed that it was quite possibly the largest red roach I'd ever seen in my fucking life. Well, I've been using this pose a lot for obvious reasons. I mean, what can I say? It's a great pose. Person that made this pose pack, you know, they knew what the people wanted. Simple. But man, I jumped back hard, and on the third, I think it's because I was making a lot of noise, plus it was in the morning. You know, roaches typically don't do a lot in the morning. He was moving kind of sluggish, kind of slow. It was a little weary of the sheer amount of noise that I was making. You know, bringing trash cans back and forth. That's a lot more noise than a human can normally make. But he was probably a little weary of the sheer sound and noise that I'm making. Plus, depending on their eyesight, you know, he probably sees me pushing this large container. He don't know what the fuck that is, so he's like, I'm gonna chill here until whatever the fuck this thing is moves along. Whatever contraption he's carrying, I ain't trying to get killed by it. So he was chilling. When I closed the door and went in, and all the rumbling of the trash can stopped, well, that's where, you know, the red roach started showing his red roach prowess. Moving fast as fuck as they do. Even at that gargantuan size that he was, he still got up and went off like it was absolutely nothing. That's the painful part about bugs. See a large bug, it's because it's genuinely a large bug. You know, mammals, reptiles, all of us, you know, flesh-bound animals, when we get big, it's either because we have to build the muscle or we build unnecessary amounts of fat cells. And at that point, unless you train the body, you ain't gonna be able to move all that fast. Whether it's too much muscle or too much fat. Bugs is different. Bugs don't give a crap about all that extra weight. They gonna move. He did. He proved that. He proved that. Like, you know what? I might be 10 times the normal size red roach, but I'm just as fast, if not faster. I think faster on it. That thing got up and went. That thing got up and went. Easily the biggest roach I've ever seen in my life. There you go. 3 stories of the biggest bugs. Or biggest creatures. A fucking super rat. A super roach. A dang. My first time ever seeing a camel spider. Although I could be wrong. He might have not been a camel spider. I think it was either a wolf spider or a camel spider. Either way, 2 big fucking... a really big semi-spider and a really big spider. Wolf spiders get fucking huge. Although I do have a crazy wolf spider story, actually. Gotta get to the next character real quick. Alright, we have our machine here. Okay, along with Pinup V. That joint, man. I didn't even know you could open up the hood in the trunk. I've had this car mod for a hot minute now. I've only just now realized that you could do that. Thing is nice, so fancy, so special. What was I saying though before we ended the last joint? I said something about oh yeah, a wolf spider. Back into the creepy crawlies. I changed her hairstyle, fixed her teeth too. She no longer has silver teeth. I wanted like I said, the last hairstyle she had, it was cool and it worked for that pinup theme. It was a very rockabilly hairstyle, but it wasn't great, as where this one is a lot better. And just for this set of photos, I made her hair a little darker. I should move the car a little closer. She was supposed to car a lot for this one. Back the car up a little too much, though. Alright, got her in the salt flats area. I try my best to mesh that out back there. It actually doesn't look too bad until you get there. You can start to see the wall. But on this side, it doesn't look too bad. I think I did a pretty good job. We got the mountains background. We have a lovely car, although this is definitely mostly about her. Yeah, I changed her hairstyle. This is a much better hairstyle, much more fitting. Matches her look a lot more versus her old hairstyle. Realistically, I could give her a long hair, but I was trying to give her more of that rockabilly style, that 50s style, where shorter hair was typically more common. Of course, you saw people with long hair, but shorter hair was a pretty common thing. I wanted to keep her around that style. Shorter hairstyle. Plus, it fits her real well. And she no longer has silver teeth. Every new character I make, I gotta take the silver teeth off of them because my set character has the silver teeth because I accidentally gave her silver teeth when I made her. That was a preset character I gave away some time ago. Everybody who downloaded that probably had to change the character's teeth from silver. That was a complete accident. I kind of forgot to update it after that. It was a long time ago. That's a real long time ago. But back to the creepy crawly stories, okay? The wolf spider. A large creature, okay? A spider of large variance. Depending on where you live, they get even bigger. Especially for the Australian folks. They get quite fucking monsters. But where I live, they don't get quite as big. They're not small. That's for dang sure. They're definitely not small. Then you know Australian levels. And again, not much out here is on Australian levels. But they're big. And the worst thing about the wolf spider is not the spider itself, but how it moves in life. Okay? So most spiders, they lay their babies in a little secret hidden den that they create, or a web sack, so that, you know, little babies can be safe when they come out. Not wolf spiders. Well, yes and no. They don't make webs, okay? They're muscle spiders. They don't make webs. They just move fast and fucking grab crap before they ever get a chance to react. But wolf spiders do something that other spiders do not do. Okay? The male spiders, they're typically smaller. Still pretty big. You wouldn't want them in your house, but they're usually smaller. It's the female spiders that's the problem. Alright? They're huge. They're huge, usually much darker in color. And they like to carry their hundreds of babies on their back. So if you kill one big spider, you gotta kill hundreds of tiny ones, because if any single one of them escapes, well, you're gonna have a bunch of male and female wolf spiders growing up in your home. Okay? And you don't want that. You know why? Because like I said, they get big. Okay, they get real fucking big. So one time, it's like 1 in the dang morning, maybe later, I'm working on some stuff. Alright? And as I'm working on some stuff, I don't know what the heck, because that was a long time ago. The only thing I remember from that day is the dang wolf spider. So I'm sitting there, I'm doing my thing, and you know, like when you catch a crap or something at the glimpse at the side of your eyes or at the underneath of your eyes, you're not really looking. Like you're looking straight forward at your screen, but you notice something move at the bottom of your eyes. Okay? And that's what happened. I noticed something move. I looked down, I'm like, the fuck was that? And to my amazement, but not straight away, to my amazement, I'm looking at, the thing was so big I couldn't tell what I was looking at. I'm looking at a massive spider, but my eyes isn't picking that up yet. My eyes has picked it up, but my brain hasn't, it hasn't calculated that that's what it's looking at yet. So I'm just staring at this spider without actually knowing that I'm staring at this spider. I'm looking at it, and I'm like, because it's so dang big, it was kind of disorienting in a way. I'm looking at this spider, and I probably stared at it for a good 10 seconds before I realized what it was I was looking at. Then, you know, the usual. I jumped the fuck back. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I had, no joke, I had a I want to say probably like a 4-hour standoff with this gargantuan behemoth of a spider, because I was the only one awake. So I couldn't just leave it, because then if I left the spider, then, you know, now it's just going to be free roaming in my room, where I'll never be able to find it again. You know what I'm saying? So I have to just sit there. I have no way to get it, because it's now hiding underneath this little portion of my desk that was like a, you know, like you got like a little extra desk on your desk. It was hiding underneath one of those. So I didn't mean to touch the car's height. Okay, we good. So now I'm sitting here stuck with a spider underneath my dang desk. I ain't about to go to sleep. Not while this behemoth is under here. This thing is huge. I ain't going to sleep. I can't go to sleep. There's no way. That'd be impossible for me to sleep knowing that there's a freaking nearly palm-sized spider sitting in my room. Okay? Just chilling. Doing whatever it is that spiders do once they finally make it to a spot they was trying to get to. Okay? So now, here I am, up 4 hours, way later than I ever expected, because this behemoth of a creature decided to make its way into my room. I mean, big wolf spider. The lucky thing is, I got lucky. It was a female spider, but she was not carrying babies. She was not carrying babies, and if she was, a very small amount. Because I think afterwards I had found two very small wolf spider males running around in my room, but they were so dang tiny. You would have, if they would have attempted to bite you, they would have never even been able to pierce the skin. That's how small they were. They were like big enough to fit on your dang pointer finger. Still barely taking any real estate. They were barely babies. So I got lucky on that part. She wasn't carrying, very much at least. But man, I ain't know what to do. Nowadays though, I have precautions for these sorts of things. I have 3 bug annihilators. Alright, I know people are like, oh, you're supposed to take bugs outside. Man, shoot, dude. That's easier said than done. Alright? I can't stand when I hear people say, you're supposed to take bugs outside. They're good creatures. Well, look here, okay? Not everyone has, you know what I mean? Not everybody has the capability to go picking up large, wild spiders that are easily spooked if you make the slightest move and their first initial thought is to bite you. Especially living in a desert, attempting to pick up a spider could be a really bad move. Okay, maybe that's, you know, something you could do where spiders are a lot more lackadaisy, but where I live, you should not be trying to grab any most spiders. Now, at the time, I didn't know that wolf spiders weren't venomous. But the problem is, any bug that big is going to have a pretty serious bite. I don't know about y'all, but I ain't got time to be getting bit by wolf spiders. Okay, like, are you supposed to take them outside so they can live again? Well, I don't know how that big fool made it inside any dang ways, okay? That spider was big as fuck. I was lost on. I'm like, how in the world did you fit in here? And of all places to run to, why here? Why my room? Okay, a million places you could have gone. You decided to come here. I want to see if we can make this pose work. I don't. Okay, that's fine. She's floating up. We gotta put her in the car. Like, of all places you could have gone, lady, you had to come up in my room, huh? That's the crazy thing too about bugs. You always know a bug just based off of the sheer size of them. If it's a very large bug, most likely a female. Ladybugs are the big bugs. Okay, in the bug world, ladybugs are the queens. Alright. This dark brown, deep behemoth of a fucking spider. You're like, oh, you're supposed to take them outside. Should have stayed outside, alright? That thing was too big. Under no circumstances was I putting my hand anywhere near that thing. Too big, too wild, and it's a wolf spider. Just your luck. You grab the dang thing attempting to take it outside. Now you got hundreds, I mean hundreds of little baby spiders crawling all over you. Please, fuck out of here. I ain't doing that. Oh my goodness, it's a good thing these underwear are wide. Because we just pulling up on all the bad poses. You know what I'm saying? People be dead serious with that too. Okay. Some bugs are just a little too wild. They're quicker to attack than to be chill. Wolf spiders are one of them. Now, unless that wolf spider desperately needs some help, like that video of that dude taking dust off the spider's little feet, that's the only time you can make that possible. That spider didn't have no dust on her. She was angry as fuck. She was mad. She was running, and she hid under my dang desk. I got safety cautions now, so something like that'll never happen again. Okay? And you're probably thinking, what safety cautions are you using? Because I could use them myself, possibly. Okay, so if you got creatures flying around your house and it's aerial, you need to get your hands on an electric tennis racket. Not only does it get them fast, okay, especially if you're accurate with your swings, it gets them out of there quick, fast, alright? And for the peoples out there, you're like, you can't be hurting the bugs, man. It's pretty much painless because it's such a massive shock, you know, they don't feel crap before they go. Feel what I'm saying? Then, for the ground, if it's a lot of them, I got the scatter. Okay, that's the shotty. I got the salt gun. Alright, the salt shotgun. These things are great. They don't require no CO2 tanks or nothing, and it just shoots a freaking scatter of salt. I done sniped a few bugs out of the sky, although it's more unnecessary in the sky, honestly. I use it for ground opponents. And for them tough ones, like fucking bugs with armor, like roaches or something, I have a very cheap air gun. It only got like 200 FPS, but that's perfectly fine. That's more than enough to smack a bug out of line. Okay. Can't be playing with these desert bugs. These desert bugs ain't playing with you. A lot of them are venomous, right? A lot of them are aggressive, especially like praying mantis. They're not venomous, but they are aggressive. They do like to bite. Sometimes they'll sit there and watch you. Other times they'll leapfrog. They'll leap right onto you. Try to get some bites in. Okay. You know they're gonna lose, but they don't give a crap. They're gonna get a few bites in before they go. Feel me? I ain't messing with these dang bugs, dude. Gotta take them outside so they can be safe. They gotta stay outside, right? Stay outside and we won't have no problems. These dang bugs be getting too big. Be carefully taking them outside. Get carefully bit multiple times. No sir, no thank you. Black widows out here, brown recluse out here, massive wolf spiders. Even the house spiders out here get big. Shoot, that reminds me of, hey, I got a lot of big bug stories, okay? These are the rare times your boy decided to watch a movie, okay? The rare time your boy decided to watch a movie. I was up front with the family. I mean, this was back when I was a teenager, so we was all sitting there. We was watching. I forgot what we were watching. I think it was the Thing prequel, the prequel of the Thing, 1981, the original movie, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. We watching the movie. I think that's what we were watching. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, we sitting here. We watching this dang movie. And in front of this screen, we got a big old screen. Big TV screen. So, we sitting there, we watching. And suddenly, a very large, I mean nearly palm-sized house spider. Just a regular old house spider. That's the ones that's not that crazy, not that deadly. They kind of just eat like the centipedes and the flies and stuff that's around your house. Well, this one was eating good because this was the biggest house spider I ever seen, dude. This house spider wasn't playing. He was a mansion spider. That wasn't no dang house spider. Okay. He was a mansion spider that found himself in the wrong place because our house was that house was not big that we was living in. The house was not a big house. Okay. He found his way in the wrong house. That thing was huge. He's just slowly webbing his way down front of the dang, oops, I'm changing the light on accident. In front of the dang TV screen while we watching the movie. That was crazy, dude. Like that ain't no dang house spider. What kind of house spider is that? It ain't supposed to be that big. Ain't no house spider ever been that dang big. Found his way into the wrong home. House ain't big enough for you. Apparently it was, because he was eating good. That was a big boy spider right there. That was a big boy spider. Oh shoot, that just reminded me. Another crazy bug story. I seem to be seeing the largest bugs. Okay. This one wasn't even that long. Heaven or Las Vegas. This one wasn't even that long ago. Okay. This one was not that long ago. We out here, we outside, we chilling. Okay. It's dark. Dark outside, mind you. And we hear some noises. We're hearing sounds. Can't really tell what it is because it's too dang dark. The biggest, easily, might even be one of the biggest bugs. I don't even know if I could say the biggest grasshopper. This might have been the biggest bug. The biggest hopper I've ever seen in my fucking life landed on the window, on the upper window. That thing was massive. Forget the roach I told you about earlier. Forget the spider. Forget all those bugs. This thing was bigger than all of them by a mile. Quite literally, if any dang thing. That thing was huge. When he landed on the window, you could hear him land on the window. That's how big he was. You could hear his little big body hit the fucking window. With some authority, too. Not like a little tink, no, a thump. It was no little tink, it was a thump. That, if I had to take a guesstimation between what I saw on the window, I'm gonna say he was probably about as long as an Xbox controller is wide. I'm not even joking. I ain't lying. I ain't making it up. Okay? That's just truth. Huge, huge, huge. I don't know if it was a grasshopper. It might have been a what's it called? A locust? Might have been a locust, for all I know. All I know is that it was absolutely massive. Otherworldly large. Okay. These bugs is getting too big. They're getting way too dang big. I don't know what these bugs is out here eating these days, but they're getting big. Now the good thing is, there's a lot of lizards around. So the usual bugs you would see in your house, we actually don't see very often at all. Because these lizards is eating good, because these lizards is getting big. Okay? Shoot, I done had to, I done had 2 lizards in the house so far. I had to take one outside. I had to be careful though. They're very soft little lizards. Gotta hold them softly. See, now lizards, I'll take a lizard outside. Because a lizard, like most animals, will get a little fearful. And in his fear, he will sit completely still and just stare at you. That's exactly what he did when I was taking him outside. They're very soft, so you gotta carry them very carefully. Obviously, he's a tiny little lizard, so, you know, not like a usual reptile. Reptiles usually are fucking muscle bound, but some little bitty lizard with his little amber eyes. As I was carrying him outside, he was just staring at me. I put some gloves on, poo-poo and pee-pee, you know, just in case he was so dang scared he couldn't hold his insides. When I sat him down, he kind of just stared at me and then ran away. Now lizards, I'll take a little lizard outside. These bugs though, I can't be so merciful. You know what I'm saying? They're just too fucking unpredictable. Bugs are like horses. It's too unpredictable. Horses are too big to be that dang unpredictable, but yet they are. Okay, one moment a horse is chilling, next moment they not. I could be wrong. I've genuinely never been around a horse, but it's just like every time I've ever seen a horse in something, in anything, that's real, not video game. Real. They just lose their mind for no dang reason. They might kick some crap for no reason. You know, them things be weighing 1,000 pounds plus. I can't I can't trust my life around an 1,000-pound muscle bound animal that just gets, you know, angry out of nowhere. Like I said, I could be wrong. Those could just have been poorly trained horses or stressed out horses. But seems to be a lot of them. I could be completely wrong though. I mean, it could be the trainer. Could be like a dog, you know. Dogs could be bad creatures if you ain't training them right too. Dogs could be horrible if you ain't training them right. Cats too. You know what I'm saying? It all depends on the person who's taking care of them. But I mean, ooh, it seemed like so dang many though. My problem. Time I see something with a horse, they dang near losing their mind. You see a lot of other good horse stuff where they just chilling though. But bugs ain't the same. Okay, horses don't have venom. They got, I said venom. They don't have venom. Got a lot of fucking muscle, but they ain't got no venom. And nothing's more unpredictable, okay, than a dang insect. Horses, animals of large sizes, they kind of give you visual cues of if they're not enjoying what's going on. A bug, they probably do too. They're too small to notice. Too weird, and sometimes too dang dangerous, right? Little lizard though, you know, he's a little lizard. Fucking put a BB in a little lizard, that's messed up. That's another thing too. Little lizard, you know, he gonna bleed red. Well, it's a pretty noticeable thing. It's like, oh dang, I done popped the little lizard for no dang reason. for a bug. I don't know what the fuck be coming out of them. Just can't with bugs, man. You just can't with bugs. A lizard, like I said, they'll be chill and docile for, you know, for a good reason. They're being held by a giant and have no clue why. It's not like you try to grab them by the tail. So they're like, okay, clearly you know my game. I know you're a human and I know you're not gonna hurt me if I relax. So they do. They'll stare at you the entire time. That entire time I was taking him outside, he was just looking at me. His little amber eyes, little beady amber eyes, just staring at me. He had his little head turned to the side while looking up. Staring. So hopefully you don't hurt me. We're in complete control here. Human. I'm sure most animals know. It's been a hot minute. We've been around animals for a long time. That's why a lot of animals don't see humans as a problem. Although, depending on the human, I guess they probably should. Some people out here messing up the game. I found out harpooning was banned because people overdid it. Like, it's always somebody overdoing some crap. You know, when you going fishing, it's to eat. You harpooning is to go overboard, most likely. Because what reason do you need a full-on harpoon just to go river fishing? You know? Out here harpooning like 20 fish an hour and crap. Local fish schools are completely fucking gone. Someone's gone fishing. A little too much. We don't want any extra light on the car. Mostly about her. We already kind of did pictures with this car, so I'm trying not to use the car too much. If I do any pictures now, it should just be the car. I did pictures with my military character a long time ago. That was during a pinup session. I forgot what episode that was, but it's in one of those old episodes. I'm pretty sure she's the thumbnail. I've never used my military character for anything outside of that one. You'll see her soon, though. Because I want to do a military session. Probably gonna be pretty much just her. Not sure when I'm gonna do it because I kinda already did a session with OGV and it just being her. I'm like, I should probably do that with the rest of my characters. The problem is, if I go straight to the military character, I'd be skipping a lot of older characters who've been around way longer. Wouldn't make a whole lot of sense to do her first before them. So I just ain't got them out the way yet. But one of these days we'll get to it. So far I checked the vote and poll and it has 2 votes. 1 person for Skyrim, 1 person for Cyberpunk. Which is good because Skyrim is my second most high quality game. Do a lot of good photography in Cyberpunk in Skyrim. I'm not really surprised that nobody really voted for Fallout. The problem I have with Fallout is you can do incredible photos, but because there's no definitive photo mode, oh, that's a full 10. There's no definitive photo mode, so it makes things way harder. Way harder. Oh, yeah. There it is. I'll do some photos with this thing later for sure. Kind of forgot about this car. I never did photos of it solo. There you go, my good peoples. That is it for this photo session. We have our full 30 with all 3 characters. If you enjoyed this video, that's good. If you didn't enjoy this video, that's good. Either way, you watched it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, notification bell. Share with the peoples. Join the Legendary Clan Sports Channel. Become legendary. I do all things photography, virtual, real life, and sometimes AI. With that being said, I'm out.